Bam. All right, what's going on, everybody? We're going to go ahead and get this rocking and rolling. So first and foremost, y'all, just let me go ahead and tell you, just pay attention to what I'm about to share with you because I promise you, without a shadow of a doubt, this is going to be something that I think we can all agree on is freaking awesome. Okay, so let me just go ahead and start with that. A little bit of my story, just so you guys know my background. My name is Miles Stallard. I'm the National Sales Director here with Vital Health. But I've been in the network marketing direct selling space now for a little over or about 10 years. And at a very, very high level, though, I've made millions of dollars inside of the space. I've traveled all over the world. I've spoken on stages with some of the most elite entrepreneurs and elite thought leaders out there. And I've become a venture capitalist because of this industry. So I invest in startups, established businesses, real estate, stocks, crypto, blockchain stuff, insurance stuff. Like I have my hands in so many different investment plays. But the reason why I even say that though is because I think it's really important for you guys to know that I look at different business models literally every single day. It's what I do, and I'm pretty dang good at it. So whenever I tell you that what we have here with Vital Health is a big freaking deal. I cannot stress that enough. It really, truly is something that I don't know if we'll ever come across something as powerful as what we have our hands on right here, right now. And I'm going to show you exactly why that is because I'm sure you may have heard a lot of people inside of the space say something along those lines because I know a lot of you guys are from the network marketing space. So you probably have heard the hype stuff, right? And I'm not trying to be a hype guy because I'm about to prove to you and show you just how good this really is and what we have our hands on. Like it truly is something, it's like the holy grail of network marketing scenarios. So give me one second. Let me go ahead and share the screen real quick and we will get this thing rocking. Okay. So here we are. So Vital Health, live an abundant life. This is who we are. Now, as an investor, okay, the number one thing that I am always looking at whenever it comes to evaluating any sort of company is what is the foundation like? Who are the founders? Who's steering the ship? Because here's the reality, especially when it comes to network marketing. You can have the best comp plan in the world. You can have the best products in the world. But if the people running the show are the wrong people, you are going to have an expiration date on the longevity of your business. If the culture is the wrong culture, again, you are going to have an expiration date on the longevity of your business. If the company itself is not thriving, then you are going to have an expiration date on the longevity of your business. Okay, so many people, when they look at the space and they evaluate different companies, they are not looking at the things that they need to be looking at. They're looking at the obvious stuff, how's the comp plan pay? Are the products good? Are they affordable? All of that stuff. But they're not looking at the internal business that is actually going to give you a long-term business. And that's what I do. Okay. Now, when I very first saw this company, I will tell you my number one hesitation was the fact that this company is based out of Mexico. I did not know what that meant. I've done a lot of different business deals in a lot of different countries. Okay, but I did not know what it meant to be part of a company that was based out of Mexico. But I will tell you that without a doubt, that is our number one biggest advantage over everybody else. Okay, whenever I dive into the comp plan, you are going to see that this compensation plan pays out, if not double, if not triple, or even quadruple anything that you're going to see inside of the space. Is by far the highest paying compensation plan I have ever seen. The products are affordable. Okay, the average product price point inside of this space is close to $100. Ours is $25. Okay, so we're talking about a fraction of the cost, higher quality. Okay, so again, these two things that most people are looking at, we have. However, the reason why we have that is because, again, we are based out of Mexico. And this is what I mean by that. For one, we have very low overhead. Very low overhead because we're based out of Mexico, right? So all that money that we're keeping in house, we're able to pump it into product development as well as compensation plan. Okay, just to give you an idea on that, our employee costs, okay, we have 450, actually more than that now, but let's just say 450 employees. Our overhead on that is less than $250,000 a month. Y'all, that is insane. So again, that money we're keeping in house, pumping into product development, pumping into a compensation plan. Okay, but what's also really important to know about that right there is we also pay our employees way more than they would make anywhere else. Guys, I will tell you over this last year, about last year and a half, I evaluated so many companies inside of this space, probably about 100 companies in the last year, fly-ins, corporate meetings, negotiation, corporate tours, all the stuff, because I was looking for the right place at the right time. I was looking for the holy grail of network marketing, right? And the reality is, if you guys do not know this already, if you're a part of the industry, you're probably aware of this, but the whole industry is an absolute shambles. Okay. It was not until I saw this company where I was like, this is literally the answer to all mine and my wife's prayers. Okay. So, anyways, going back to it, our employees, that was one of the first things that I noticed whenever I went and toured the facilities here was how happy the employees were. Because when you have a happy internal business, it's going to show on the outside of the business, right? Like that was such a huge selling point for me is walking into the corporate offices and seeing the employees showing up to work early, leaving work late just because they want to be there because they're a part of the mission, they're a part of the cause, and they love what they do. That is a big deal to me. So that was a huge reason why I fell in love with this company and the culture of the company. Something else that's really important to know is we do all of our own manufacturing. The entire process from start to finish is all done in-house. Again, all that money that we are not spending on third parties and then we're not outsourcing to other companies, okay, all that money we're keeping in house, we're pumping into product development. We get to pump it into a compensation plan. See, in this industry, a lot of companies will say that they own their entire operation. It is not true. 99.9% of the companies in the space, the only thing that they own is their brand. They outsource literally every single thing else. Not us. We literally do everything from start to finish, from the manufacturing to the development of the products to all of the labs. Even the real estate is all paid cash. We own all the real estate that we utilize. The logistics, the warehousing, everything is done in-house. Okay. Huge deal. Now, going into the company itself, okay, because that was something else that I was very curious about is, you have a comp plan that's paying out the way that it is. The products are so affordable. Like, how is the company doing? Because again, those can look great on the outside, look great for all of us in the field. And by all means, man, if you're making millions of dollars inside of space, that's fantastic. But if your company is not winning, that millions of dollars is going to be very short-lived, right? So I want to know, how is the company doing? And I'm here to tell you guys, we are absolutely thriving as a company, completely 100% debt free. And again, do our entire operations. And we have so much more to play with. It is unreal. The way they run this company, it's absolutely genius, guys. I evaluate companies all day, every day, and the way they are running this, I've never seen anything like it before. Hence the reason why I chose to come over to this company, okay? So with that being said, let's look at the founders. Okay, you have the Beretta brothers on the top left and the top right, Alberto and Gustavo. They're some of the most successful commercial real estate developers in all of Hermosillo, Mexico, where our headquarters is. Also very high on the political ladder out there as well. For those of you guys that don't know, a lot of Fortune 500 and 600 companies are actually doing their manufacturing right next to us in Hermosillo, such as Ford and Toyota, companies like that, because again, the overhead and the amount of money they get to keep in-house to invest in the business. Now, Tony Rodriguez, he is the developer of all of our products, world famous doctor, product developer. People travel from all over the world to come see him at his clinics. And then right next to him is Alex Reynosa. Now, Alex was actually a top earner in a multi-billion-dollar company inside of the space for the last 15 years. All the money that he made inside of that, he started manufacturing products for other companies inside of the space. Now, what was interesting on how Vital Health even got started was Alex, his father was one of Tony's patients and had life-changing experience on these products. And that's when Alex went to Tony and said, hey, man, how do you plan on getting these products out to the world? And that was where the connection was made. And that's where they decided to start Vital Health, because that's what Alex does as a professional network marketer. And guys, I will tell you, he is an absolute genius when it comes to just overseeing a multi-billion dollar company. We're not a multi-billion dollar company yet, but we are well on our way, which brings me to a whole nother point and a very important thing to pay attention to. Okay. So timing. A lot of people think being a part of a startup company is the best time to get started with a company. I'm here to tell you there's definitely advantages to that if you're willing to go through the mud for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and you're able to go through that fight. However, there's advantages because you get to override everything, right? But the struggle, the cons outweigh the pros. The time to get started in a company is when the company is in momentum, when the company is winning, when there's a craze over what's going on. There's a lot of hype around it. There's a lot of excitement around it. There's a lot of people winning, right? That is the time that you want to get started. And let me tell you where we are right now as a company. We launched 3 years ago in Mexico. Okay. Me and my wife were brought into this to launch the English speaking US market. That's why we were brought in as the national sales director. My wife, you see at the bottom left, she's the chief impact officer. Okay. So that's why we came in. But that was 6 to 8 months ago whenever we came into this. Okay. And with that being said, in 2023, okay, this company did 4 million. In 2024, we did over 40 million. That is the growth that we are having this past year. And we are well past that now, expected to hit $100 million this year. Okay, now with that being said, talking about the growth and where we're at, you can look up on businessfromhome.org. You will see that Vital Health is the fastest growing company inside of the network marketing space in terms of revenue growth, which is the only thing that really matters, right? So that is where we are from a timing. So we are we have the opportunity of a startup company or a brand new company, but without the risks associated because the foundation has already been laid. $40+ million company and massive momentum for us to come into the US market, the Canadian market, in a completely wide open market. Like, this is, again, the timing. You could not pray for a better timing opportunity than what we have right here. So anyways, that is our corporate team. Down at the bottom right, you see David Nieves, VP of Sales. This gentleman is literally the man that changed my entire life. He brought me into the network marketing industry 10 years ago. So lots of kudos and just respect for Mr. David Nieves. And I will tell you, having him as one of the top leaders inside of this company, y'all, you could not be blessed with better leadership, better training. I mean, it's just absolutely phenomenal what he does, what he creates. His wife, Brooke Stokes Nieves, she is the director of the products. The chief product director is her new title, and she's an absolute rock star as well. So let's go ahead and dive into the actual presentation itself, or the products itself. Okay, nanotechnology. Okay, smaller active ingredients for maximum absorption, adaptogens, nutrients that adapt their functionality to the needs of the body, which I'm going to talk about here real briefly. And then affordable prices. I already told you guys, our average product price point at wholesale is literally $25, maybe $35. Industry average is close to 100, if not more. Okay, very affordable products, significantly higher quality than you're going to find in most places as well. Okay, now, before I dive into the products, I want to skip a few slides. I want to go to something first, okay? I want to talk about the quantum bioelectric analyzer. Here's what's really cool about this, okay? So this scanner, by the way, this is not proprietary to us. You can get this scanner off of any medical device stores. Doctors use these as like a pre-test before they get into the more expensive urine tests, blood samples, x-rays, stuff like that, okay? But what is proprietary to us is the software inside of this device that ties somebody's result to our actual products. So what this scanner does is it runs a frequency through your body and it tests 45 different vital processes, and it sends you about a 120-page report on everything that's going on, and it recommends the products that we have. Here's why this is a game changer. For one, it's a game changer in the network marketing space because this now makes us test-based nutrition, right? It gives us the credibility and the professionalism. It is absolutely freaking awesome. Okay, that speaks for itself. But what a lot of people don't know why this is so good is it allows us to create products that are very specific to the needs of the body. Okay, when you're talking about network marketing, most companies have what we call blanket products, which means you got like one product that kind of does a little bit of everything. Those are great. We have blanket products here as well. However, the problem with blanket products is it sometimes takes time for somebody to see positive results on a blanket product because it's just a little bit of stuff that helps with a lot of stuff, right? But when you have products that are specific to the needs, people see quick results. The reason why that's important is if it takes somebody more than a month to see a result on the product, the chances are they're not going to buy the product the following month. But if they see a result within their first couple of days, first week, first 2 weeks, definitely within their first month, they're more likely, if not for sure, going to be buying the product the following month. So this allows us to create products that are very specific to the needs of the body, which in turn gives us a really high retention in our business, and people get really amazing, great, quick, fast results. Okay. So going into the products, okay, this is our product line. In fact, we just launched 2 products. I'll just go ahead and tell you right now because they're not on the slide. We have V Daily, 73 different vitamins and minerals. It is absolutely amazing. That was the product that I was like, hey, we've got to create something similar to this idea. And sure enough, we just launched it and it is freaking awesome. Then we also have glutathione drops, which is another game changer as well. But let's go into the detox line. Okay, so this line right here is probably our #1 seller because we start everybody on the detox line, right? Why? Let's detox your body. Let's get you to ground zero so we have something to build from. So this is going to have the T detox, which detoxes your body. Then we have the V Organix. Okay, the V Organix is a liver support product. Okay, so again, very specific to the liver. V-Iterin is a kidney support product. S-Balance is a sugar balancing product. Very specific. Now, the S-Balance, I will go ahead and tell you straight up, this product is going viral right now. If you know anybody that has blood sugar issues, type 2 diabetes especially, just share this product with them and see what it does for them, because the results and the testimonials that are coming from that product right there is absolutely ludicrous. It is so awesome. Okay, so that's the detox line. Next, we have the restore line, consists of V omegas. Okay, now omega-3s are probably one of the most important supplements that we all need to be taking every single day, because the reality is we are not getting the vitamin E in our diet that we need to be getting in our diet, right? But here's the reality: there's good omegas and there's not so good omegas. Okay, ours are the best of the best. They are derived from the wild Alaskan sockeye salmon, which is the purest fish for your heart, with a vegetarian diet, cold press, so it's not high in mercury, and also has tocotrienols, which is the strongest and most potent form of vitamin E. V-Idolate, that is a rest and relaxation product. V-Idol is a pain management product. V-Control is an appetite product. V40 Flora is going to have magnesium in it, as well as activated charcoal. I will tell you, if you think that you're coming down with any sort of illness, flu, sickness, something like that, pop one of those. You're going to be well on your way. V-Asculax is a blood circulation, blood flow product. My mom's testimonials on her blood pressure is insane. So that's her like go-to product when she's talking to people. I'm going to talk about my mom a little bit more in a little bit. But also V-Glutation, which is glutathione. Again, we have the glutathione drops, but we also have the pills here. Now, the glutathione, I think this is really interesting because glutathione is very expensive. It's the strongest form of antioxidant. It's like 10 times more than any antioxidant out there. But the problem with glutathione typically is it's very expensive, right? My wife used to get glutathione IVs, cost $300 every single time she got it. Here, you can get an entire month's supply for $60, okay? The industry average on glutathione is like 100, 120. I've seen it up towards $300, okay? But here you can get an entire month's supply of glutathione for $60. Now we have our Nurse line, which consists of Vital Pro. A lot of people look at this and they instantly think it's a protein because you see 16 grams of protein on it. I'm here to tell you, this is not a protein, okay? It's a superfood blend with 16 grams of protein. It is amazing and it tastes so ridiculously amazing. But it says vanilla, and I am here to tell you it does not taste like vanilla. It tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, or like the milk that you drink after you have a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, or like rum chata. That's what it tastes like. Okay. I told Alex, I was like, man, we got to change the flavor profile. It's got to say something along with cinnamon because it tastes more like cinnamon than it does vanilla. So just telling you, but that's actually one of my favorite products because it tastes so freaking good and it's so unbelievably good for you for every reason in the world. Our collagen, type 1, 2, 3, best collagen that you could ask for. V Energy is amino acids with 120 milligrams of caffeine in this as well, pumped full of vitamins, minerals, all that jazz. Tastes amazing. I actually use this as a pre-workout, though it's not technically a pre-workout, but I use it as a pre-workout because it works better than all my other pre-workouts. Okay, so that's the V Energy, and then lastly we have the V Nitro. Now I will tell you, this is this is my favorite product. And the reason why is because the company that I built for 10 years, we had a product very similar to this. We did over $250 million in sales just off that one product alone. But the reason why it's so interesting to me is a lot of people are not familiar with nitric oxide. Okay, which is crazy because nitric oxide is the single most important molecule in the human body. Okay, you can live 7 minutes without oxygen. You cannot live 7 seconds without nitric oxide. So, what this product's going to do is it's going to increase your body's natural production of nitric oxide, which allows your body to absorb more oxygen. When your body absorbs more oxygen, it does literally everything better. It defends, maintains, repairs every single cell in your body, and it defends against what we call angiogenesis, which is the multiplication and duplication of bad cells. I call this a superhero product because when you take this product, you're consistent with this product, you are going to just 24/7 feel like you're just absolutely at your best in every area. I love this product. It's my go-to, and that's Nitro, baby. So now, last but not least of the product lines, we have our Awaken line. These are our coffees. Now, as a businessman in the network marketing space, I have always wanted to be a part of a company that had coffee. And the reason why is because coffee is the second most consumed beverage in the world next to water. So from a business perspective, I think we can all agree that we want to be a part of a company that is selling a product that people want. People want good coffee, and we have that here. We have Thermo Cafe, which is going to be thermogenic, so it's a weight loss coffee. Neuro Cafe, which I drink every morning. I drink the Neuro Cafe unless I know I'm going to work out. Then I'll drink the Thermo Cafe. But typically, I drink the Neuro Cafe, which is nootropics, brain function, cognitive function, focus, clarity, and it's also going to have the gamma derma mushroom in it as well. And it's great for your gut microbiome, gut brain axis. I call this the happy coffee. It is so freaking good. And really, our number one selling coffee is actually the Love Cafe, which is a hormone balancing coffee. Okay, so those are the coffee lines. And now let's dive into the business, y'all. So as you guys already know, I'm very passionate about this industry. It's changed my life in more ways than I can even express to you guys. But I've seen it impact and change so many other people's lives. Passive income, it's residual income, right? Warren Buffett says it better than anybody. You're never going to be financially free until you figure out how to make money while you are sleeping. But here's the reality. This business is so much more than what you're seeing on this presentation right now. It's more than the products. It's more than the compensation plan. I mean, it's the relationships, it's the friendships, the connections, it's the networking, the doors that it can and will open for you. You truly cannot put a price tag on it. So I'm crazy passionate about this industry. I think everybody in the world needs to be in network marketing, whether it's this company or another company. It doesn't matter. However, we have literally the best thing out there. So I think everybody needs to be a part of this company. All right. So going into it, let's dive into the comp plan. So first and foremost, loyalty bonus program. What this means is if you or your customers stay on the product for 2 to 3 months, you're going to get 10% off your product purchases. 4 to 8 months, 20% off all of your product purchases. 9 or more, 30% off of all of your product purchases, which again is freaking insane. Okay. Now, influencer bonus. This is where I get really excited. This was one of the first things that blew my mind when I evaluated this company was the customer acquisition. Okay. So to give you guys an idea, for those of you that don't know, there's 3 pillars to every compensation plan inside of the space. Number 1 is going to be the customer acquisition. That is how you get paid when you get a customer. Okay. Customer acquisition. The next is the team building and the structure, okay? The recruiting side. How do you get paid on that portion? And then the last piece is the residual. How does the residual pay? All 3 of these, by the way, outpay anything I've ever seen significantly inside of this industry, okay? And to give you an example, I'll start with this one. This is customer acquisition. Okay, the industry average for customer acquisition is less than 20%. Okay, and it's actually significantly less than that, but I'm going to go with 20% just because, I'm trying to make the industry look better. Okay, but let's just say less than 20% is what the average customer acquisition is inside of the space. Okay, here you are going to average 60%. 60. The most I've ever seen inside network marketing was 50% on some products. And that was 50% on the volume of the dollar, not even the dollar. It really turned out to be around like 40 something percent. Okay. 60% customer acquisition, meaning you sell $1,000 worth of product here, you are making $600, no less. Now, if you have the influencer bonus, you can earn up to 89%. Okay. Now, here's what's really cool about our customer acquisition here. There's actually two ways that we get customers. One is the modern day direct to consumer that we're all used to, right? This is if somebody wants to order the product, you send them your link, they click on the link, they order the product shipped directly to their door, you get paid. All you did was literally share a link, right? That's direct consumer. That's where you're going to average 60% on a higher side, earn up to 89%. Okay. That's the most I've ever seen inside the space. Now, here's the other way, which is really interesting because I have not seen a company do retail since like other than like Herbalife or other companies like that. Um, but check this out. If you are able to, now this isn't for everybody, but if you have the capability to actually retail the product, you will make a fortune here. So many doctors, physicians, physical therapists, chiropractors, estheticians like my mom, um, holy smokes. I mean, hairstylist, even anybody that has a brick and mortar business can just absolutely crush it here. In fact, just right here in our town, we have some good friends. They just launched a coffee shop here in our town. And guess what they have on their shelves? Vital freaking health, man. They have our coffees on their shelf. Here's why this is so crazy. Okay. It's because the customer acquisition on the retail side is is insane. And I'll give you an example. So my mom, she's an esthetician, right? So people come in, do their facials, their microdermabrasion, stuff like that. Afterwards, my mom scans them on the scanner. Scanner says, "Hey, you're dealing with XYZ." So then my mom will sell them XYZ product, whatever the scanner recommends. And so my mom just was the other day, she bought $300 worth of product, sold that $300 worth of product for 690. She made a $390 profit on a $300 purchase. Okay, that is a 130% return on her investment. I've never seen that before, but y'all, that is very small. The other day, she actually bought $1,000 worth of product, sold it for 3,000. Okay, that is the return on investment from the customer acquisition side is insane. Anybody that has like the nutrition shop, nutrition stores, this is where they can just they'll make way more selling these products than the other 200 brands that they're representing. Like this is a huge piece. When I saw this, I was like, holy smokes, man, those big influencers and those people out there that are, selling $100,000 worth of product every single month, but they're only making, 10% on what they sell. Like, holy smokes, they come into this, they're making $1 million a year just off their brand and their name. So there's so many different avenues and ways that you can actually attack this business from a customer acquisition standpoint. But going into the influencer bonus, I want to explain how this works. And this is from the retail side. The direct to consumer, it's similar. It's just direct to consumer and retail are two different models, but it's the same concept. Okay. So when you buy your first $300 worth of product, really 150, 200 points, which is about $300 worth of product. Each product you're buying at $25, you're reselling that product for $50 for 100% return on your investment. Now, once you have that first $300 worth of product, the next $300 worth of product that you buy, you're actually getting each product for $5 opposed to $25, but you're still selling it for $50 for a 900% return on your investment. Absolutely freaking insane, y'all. That is the customer acquisition. This is why so many people are flooding into this business, especially top leaders inside of the space, because nobody has seen anything as powerful as this. And I'm willing to go toe to toe with anybody inside of this space and debate them on comp plan, because I promise you, nothing like this exists. Now, next, we have our first order bonuses. This is the recruiting side, right? So if you bring somebody in at our bronze pack, which is $200, you're going to get a $45 upfront bonus. Silver pack is a $300 pack. Get a $67.50 upfront bonus. Gold is a $600 pack. You get a $135 upfront bonus. And Platinum Plus is a $1,200 pack. You get a $270 upfront bonus. Now, if you are in Canada, the numbers are about $30 more on each one of these, just for tax purposes, and Canada's like duty tax, stuff like that. We're working on ways around that, but we just launched Canada 30 days ago, 31 days ago. And so Canada is on fire right now. We had a lot of promotions this month just out of Canada. So congratulations to all of you guys out there in Canada. This is the presenter bonus. Again, industry first. I wish so bad that I would have had this in my last company because I would have made millions of dollars more if we did. But what this says is if you were to help anybody build their business and they're not directly tied to you inside of the compensation plan, you will actually get paid for it here. So super cool piece to what we have. Now let's talk about structure for a second. Okay, now, if you have experience in network marketing, you already know binary structures are the best for team building and they create the most million-dollar earners. Now, you can make millions of dollars in any comp plan, but it's the binary comp plans that have the most people making millions of dollars. But there's binaries are superior when it comes to recruiting and team building. Uni levels are going to be superior when it comes to longevity of residual and stability of a residual, right? We have a binary when it comes to the structure of this business, okay, which is fantastic. And we also have a uni level from the residual, which I'm going to get into here in a second. But the binary, the reason why binaries are so powerful on team structure is because you're only building two lines of business. You're not building 10 lines of business. If you're building 10 lines of business means you bring in 10 people. Now you have 10 lines of business. Now you're spinning 10 different plates and you're building 10 different businesses, right? Now, when you're only building two lines, like in a binary, now if you bring on 10 people, you're stacking everybody underneath each other all on the same team. So everybody's working together to help the newest person, right? So it's a team effort. It's not about what you do. It's about what we do collectively as a team and as an organization. That is why an average person can make millions of dollars in a binary comp plan because they locked arms with a team that is winning, right? And guys, I will tell you, we are winning. So we have that. Now you're going to earn up $25,000 per week just off the binary itself. Okay. Now, once you max that out, build another line, you can max it out again. That's $100,000 a month, and you can just do it over and over and over. Y'all, this comp plan is literally designed to pay millions with an S, millions of dollars per month. And y'all, several people will be making that kind of money here. Mark my words on that. So, matching bonus. Okay, this is another really powerful piece of this comp plan. What this means is that anybody that you personally bring into this business, whatever they earn on the binary, you're going to earn 50% of. Okay, so let's just say hypothetically, you bring somebody like me into the business. I max out the binary side of the comp plan. I'm making 100 grand a month. You're making $50,000 per month just because you brought me into the business. Now imagine bringing 5 people into the business that max out the compensation or max out the binary. That is ludicrous, the amount of money that you're going to be making, right? So crazy. Those are some not necessarily realistic numbers, right? Let's look at something that's very real, okay? Which is this example right here. Say you bring on 5 people and they're all doing between, $750 to $1,500 a week on the binary. Okay, that is 5,000 total being produced on the binary. Okay, you're getting 50% of that. You're making $2,500 per week, $10,000 per month for bringing in 5 people that are just building the business, right? That is a very, very, very realistic example on how this matching bonus. I truly believe that this portion of the comp plan is going to be the piece of the comp plan that pays out the most people the most money in the next 3 to 5 years. It's going to be insane to see what people make on the matching bonus. Car bonus, 3,000 in binary volume. Both lines get $300 a month, or just hit 10,000 in group volume and you get $500 a month for a paid for car. Now let's go into the residual. Now, those of you that have experience in network marketing, please pay attention to the volume being produced and how much residual is being paid out. Okay. Just look at the very first rank, bronze. This is only 1,000 in volume, by the way. Okay, 1,000 in volume, you hit the rank of bronze. That's going to pay on average $220 a month. 1,000 in volume anywhere else I've ever seen doesn't pay any residual at all whatsoever. You might get a $50, $75 bonus for whatever reason, but you're not going to make $220 a month residual. Now let's go to another rank. Let's go up to the rank of gold. Okay, gold is $10,000 or 10,000 in volume, group volume. Okay, and you're going to average $1,500 per month on your team doing 10,000 in volume. Guys, that is 15% on what your team does. Y'all, we are getting paid more for what our team does than what we would make in most other companies on our own personal production. That is insane. Okay, y'all, this is the whole reason why I'm here. It's just there's nothing in the world like it. But again, I want to remind y'all the reason why it's as good as it is because we are based out of Mexico, right? That is the single reason why. Because if we were based in the United States, our comp plan would not be the superior, right? We wouldn't be able to afford this kind of comp plan, right? If we were based out of the United States, our products would be priced a whole lot higher, right? These are the advantages that we have from being based out of Mexico. So Diamond, 50,000 in volume, pays out $7,500 a month. Y'all, it gets crazy. I mean, it goes all the way up to $150,000 a month, and realistically, there's already people making more than that, way more than that. We are just getting started. Uh, but y'all, just to give you guys like some ideas, I mean, the amount of volume being produced in my last company, I would have to do about 4 times the volume to make the same amount of money that you can make inside of this company. And there's so many different examples all throughout this business of people winning in huge, huge, huge ways here. And you just gotta get plugged in, and you'll meet the people, and you'll see the volumes and the stories. It's insane. So 2,500 in volume gets you to the rank of silver, which qualifies you for our leadership retreat. And if you want to get started with us, it's simple. These are the packs. I told you about them before: 200, 300, 600, 1,200. I encourage everybody, come in at the highest pack that you feel comfortable with. There's a couple reasons why. For one, of course, you're getting more product to get your business off the ground, to sample, to share, and just to get things rolling, right? But you're also getting more volume. Volume is how you hit rank. The higher rank you are, the higher percentages you get paid out on. Okay. But the big reasons why I encourage you to come in at a higher pack is because you are actually getting a higher percentage payout on the binary piece of this comp plan. So you get paid more by coming in at a higher pack. So there's a lot of incentive to come in at a higher pack. Not to mention, you also open up the influencer bonus that locks you in at that 89% customer acquisition, or the 900% retail customer acquisition. You open that up with 150 points opposed to 200 points, which is actually a really big difference. Now, here's what's also cool about this. You can always upgrade to the larger pack. But what I would tell you now is get in at the biggest pack that you possibly can, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Just get started with us, and you can always upgrade later. But guys, I really, really hope you saw the value in the business that I just shared with you guys. It truly is the best thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. So I encourage you guys, come run with us, lock arms with us. We are absolutely disrupting this industry, and just getting better and better every single day. The culture is freaking so insane, so cool, so much fun. That Hispanic culture, by the way, is just, it's awesome. All right. So, man, love you guys. Thank y'all so much for being on tonight. God bless. Get with whoever it was that invited you onto this, and let them know you are ready to get started. And let's make April the best month of our lives. And it's only going to get better from here on out anyway. So, love you guys. God bless. Have a fantastic rest of your evening. Bye, y'all.